everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy at TV. In case you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. Just press the subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell so that you can get notifications when we upload our videos. Don't also forget to subscribe and join, follow, like our other social media platforms. Of course, you're seeing it right about now. Don't also forget to share this video across your platforms. Enjoy the video. Making money work for you is what we're discussing right away. Seyi Abiodun is with me, a financial education expert. Hello, Seyi, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Making money work for you. Okay. In layman's terms, just explain that for those watching us right now.
Okay, so the first thing we all need to understand is that you may not get to that level in your lifetime where you earn enough money to cater to all your needs. As a matter of fact, there are statistics everywhere says that less than 10% of Nigerians actually earn up to 200,000 naira. And with what is happening in the economy, we can see that it is not enough. So in spite of it being not enough, what are the things that you can do to, preserve your own wealth, grow from that independent or dependent phase to dependent phase? So the discipline you need to inculcate, the information you need to have access to be able to invest rightly, and then just make your own life better.
Okay. So how would you use this now if you're saying, or Nancy is saying this morning, Nigerians, make money work for you.
Yes.
Now, money is actually a tool.
True.
Money is a tool to make things work for you. But people will ask first, I don't even have enough. So how do you talk about competing needs? How do you balance competing needs and wealth building?
Creation.
Yes.
Okay. The most important thing really is to, within that not enough salary that you earn or the income that you earn, you need to have savings. It cannot be overemphasized, the need for you to have savings as low, even if it is 10%, 20%, they are setting aside, you need to have savings. And why is that important? Because if we say that scale your income, if we say get a skill, find a need and fill the need, those are opportunities to make additional money into your pocket. And your savings is what you're going to be using to do all of those. If I say go get a tech skill, where will you get the money to get the skill if you don't have savings? So that is why savings is very critical. As a matter of fact, it's the starting point. 10%, 15%, 20%. If you earn 100,000 and 90K is not enough, 100,000 is not also not enough. So you can as well save 10%, save it. But again, where do you now save the 10% so that you're not just saving and then there's inflation and all of that? I think I will get into that in other. I'll get to that.
Yeah, because actually, for Nigerians, it's like we are hedging against inflation. We're struggling against inflation. We're struggling against rising tariffs every day.
True.
There's telecoms now. There could be electricity tomorrow. There is something, NPA just increased their own tariffs, first time in 32 years. So there's something that we're competing against. So rightfully so, every Nigerian, when that person brings up a reason, my transport cannot even take me home, you're saying, how do I make my money work for you? So I actually want you to hammer on that point in the sense that, is it really possible that you out of the nothing itself, you can make your money work for you? Because, okay, for example, there was a time I was talking about this and someone asked me, okay, for those pushing wheelbarrow in Wuse Market, for example, how do they make their money? Are you telling me that they've not even made enough money and yet, how would you tell them to build wealth along what they're doing? I hope you understand what
I
I'm
understand.
saying, Seyi. Yes.
Okay, so this is the way I see it. There are two things you can do. Let's say you earn 100,000 now. What can you do? You can either increase your income or reduce your expenses. Those are key fundamentals that you have to understand. So reducing your expenses may mean that you do a budget. In my budget, how much do I spend on rent on a monthly basis? How much do I spend on feeding? So what can I reduce? Can I move to another area that would enable me reduce my rent? Then the other part is to increase your income. That is very important, right? Because 100K is not enough for you. You need to now increase your income. On increasing your income part, if you have a 9 to 5, your 5 to 9 now becomes an asset to you. Let me give you an example of a driver of mine, right? This guy earns 40K, obviously not enough. So what does he do? He makes sure that once he closes at work at 5 p.m., he does another keke. He does keke riding from 6 to 10 on a daily basis. That's the way he's able
The question
to
is,
now.
where did he get the keke from? Did he get the
Of-
keke from his existing
course.
salary? Or does he rent from someone to pay back, to
Okay.
give daily returns? Or, I'm
Okay,
just
for
asking.
him,
Yeah.
for him though, he was fortunate to have an uncle
Okay.
that saw that, oh, you are serious, let me just use this to
Okay,
help
okay.
you. So, but one of the things I also learned from him is he told me that my salary is for capital projects. So I don't touch my salary. The money that I use in feeding and all of those comes from that keke business that I do after work. Why am I saying this? If you don't earn enough, time now becomes an asset. You can convert it. There are a lot of things that can be done right now. I have friends that 9 to 5, but from after work, in the night, they are doing graphic designing, making a lot of money. They're doing remote work. A lot of our youths right now in Nigeria have 2-3 jobs. Some people work full-time. They also have a remote job somewhere because you just have to scale your income, especially when it is not enough.
When it's not enough. The question around savings, I want us to look at it. The question on savings and savings for investment, because there are two things.
Yes.
COVID taught the whole world that anything can happen at any time.
True.
And why you need emergency funds. They call it emergency funds because many people, even that time, lived on their savings for like 1 week, 2 weeks. You know, you remember that time where everyone started crying, you know, I need to do stuff. I even had friends that told me at that time that they had to assess their lives again, especially their financial lives, that, oh, Nancy, my business is not an essential business.
True.
You know, because in times of crisis, those around essential services would work. Like people like us were working all through the lockdown. So a friend of mine actually did say, oh, Nancy, I'm not into essential services. And he retooled himself. He retooled his business and began an essential service business, which he's still doing now. So what am I saying in essence? The question around savings, even amidst nothing, and savings for investment. And perhaps if there are other strategies that you can make your money work for you, no matter how little.
Okay, so on savings, where do you save? Because where you save into determines if it is savings or investment. For instance, there are different levels of investment now. Low risk investment, that is the one where you're not taking so much risk, but you're not also going to earn so much return. So most of them will pay you between 17 to 23%. Example is treasury bill, bonds, when you are lending money to the government, money market, which is my personal favorite because it operates more like a savings account. You can start with as low as 5,000 naira. So think about it. If you keep your money in a normal savings account, you're earning, say, less than 5%. If you keep the same amount of money in a money market mutual fund, it pays you 22%, 23%, depending on the fund manager that you choose. So we need to really understand that part of savings and investment. Then the other kind of savings is what is the emergency savings. You know, that's the one that you are putting aside for unforeseen circumstances. You don't want to get to that point where you've worked for 1 year and you have an emergency situation. You're now calling everybody. You're not supposed to get to that point. So that is why, as much as possible, no matter how little it is, you need to have something in emergency savings. And there are some things actually that are not emergency. Example, rent. Rent is not an emergency because a lot of times, especially if you live in Nigeria, we pay our rent annually. So you have 12-month notice to plan your rent. So rather than just now keeping your rent in a normal savings account, you can also now make it an investment when you keep it in a money market that pays you return. And then, so by the time your rent is due to be paid, you've earned some money on that as well.
You know, okay. I like what you said because this is a financial show, and I've been doing this for a long time. You know, telling people how money can work for them. If we take a look at, I like that you also brought the different outlets that one can invest in. How do we hedge against inflation now? Inflation at 34%. You know, I know some of the strategies you've said is a way also to hedge.
Yes.
But are there other things that we can do to hedge against inflation? That's one. And is there any other thing that you can do that can make you earn more than the inflation rate? Because all the investments we have now,
True.
I'm talking of legit investments, so money market, mutual funds, apart from, let's say, the stock market, and it depends on how you play it, will give you rates, or will make you gain more than inflation. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
The stock
you
market.
Do. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? It depends on how
Perfectly.
you play it. So
True.
how do you hedge against inflation so that at least you gain, you are in the positive? Because
Okay.
anything we are trying to do now is to say, let our monies not be in the bank. Let me earn more than what the bank is giving to me.
True. So the truth is, low risk investment, you cannot hedge against inflation. If all you are going to be doing is money market, T-bills, bonds, you cannot. But you also need to understand that there are two principal reasons why people invest generally. There is capital preservation and capital appreciation. That I want to just ensure that my money is preserved. I really do not mind, so that I don't lose it, right? But if that is your mindset, it means your risk appetite is not so high. You may not be able to do high risk or medium risk investment like stock market. Right? The stock market in Nigeria, actually, based off the news that we've been seeing, is doing very well. You just need to understand how to select stocks, what are stocks with growth potentials, and all of those things. And there are tools out there that you can actually use to verify the stock to be investing into and whatnot. The other one that I think that you can take advantage of, that I've probably been canvassing for people to do, is to start a business. Nigeria presents a lot of opportunities for people to start businesses, And if you have a 9-to-5, you really do not need to start a business full-time. There are collaborative opportunities. The world has moved from agricultural phase, industrial phase, to edutainment, and now strategic collaboration, where the bulk of people in this time would get rich through collaboration, right? So if you have a 9-to-5, but you have another friend who does a business, why not think about investing in that person's business, become an equity partner in that person's business? And a lot can be done in that space. You can also become a micro-angel investor. I started that because I realized that there are a lot of businesses that all they need to scale in our country is 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, all those small businesses. People need to take advantage of those opportunities. Think about it. You have a 9-to-5, but you have 5 businesses that you have invested into that are paying you return. So that is a practical way that you can also grow your wealth, even as someone in paid employment.
You know what's coming to my mind, and perhaps we'll look at it at another edition, because what you're saying now also needs thoroughness.
True.
That you don't just, anybody that comes and say, give me 1 million, you scale.
Yeah.
There are processes for it.
True.
Legal,
Excellent.
financial, and all of that, so that you don't also lose
Definitely.
your money. And who are those that you're even investing in?
Definitely.
The persons, the personalities, and their business. So things like
Definitely.
that. The structure, there must also be a structure for that, so that at the end of the day, you don't say...
You don't lose the money.
you don't lose the money. But perhaps I'll look at it on another edition of the program. Let's take a question that is coming in now on WhatsApp. Good day, Nancy. Okay, good morning. I've watched some of your programs when you made mention of one buying some bonds and how to make money work for you. Please, which bonds or investment can I start with little capital? I know I do these things on social media. I've been doing it for a while. But would you like to answer? With little capital, and we've been talking about it in the last few minutes, but let's repeat it.
So we have the federal government savings bond,
which is
that sells every month.
Every month.
I think it's the first week of every month. You can start with as low as 5,000 naira, and it pays between 17 to like 18 point something percent. So that's a very good opportunity. But another investment that you can try, especially when you want to hedge against inflation in this economy, is to look at foreign currency denominated investments. There are dollar mutual funds as well. There's dollar bond, anything that will allow you. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria, saving in dollars, sometimes we've even found it to be a way to invest.
But it's frowned at because dollar is not our money as well.
Of course.
Yeah, but I understand what you're trying to say. Okay, so you've answered that. Another question, are there any real estate bonds or shares, real estate shares you know about you can advise? If you want my advice, you will pay, because it's also another avenue for me to make money. You know,
Okay.
but you understand what I mean in terms of, are there other, there are also some REITs,
True.
estate investment
Trust.
yeah. But I think the question, or what do you want people to take away as we even leave in a few minutes, that can you be financially secure at any level? That's one. Because they also say you have one sickness away from poverty, you know. And can you enter investment, or can you make your money work for you at any level, even if it's 50K that you are earning?
Yes, you can make your money work for you at any level. And on a parting shot, what I would really like to say is the dream of every one of us is to attain financial independence. And it is very contextual. What is financial independence to me may not be what is financial independence to you. It's just a state where you are free to choose what to do, when to do it, with whom to do it, how you want it done, without pressure from anybody. You know, when you have investment that is enough, the return that you are earning from your investment is now enough to pay your day-to-day bills. At that level, you're in financial freedom. For some people, once they have 1 million, they are okay. For some other people, the size of their purpose or their vision, they need $1 billion. For that person, they keep working. But I think every one of us should understand our parts and just settle these things.
Okay. Seyi, I think that's the much we can take on today's edition of the program. Let's make people hungrier, you know, and we'll continue to take a look at it. Like we mentioned earlier on, the savings bonds is on. I actually even did a video earlier on this week on social media telling you about it. The savings bonds would end even today. So you can go on my Instagram and other social media handles to take a look at that and get more information on it. But Seyi Abiodun has been speaking with me, a financial education expert. Seyi, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and that's the much you can take on today's edition of the program. Thank you all for joining us. I'll see you again Monday, bright and early, 11 a.m. I am Nancy Naji. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. Thank you for making it up to this minute watching the video. Thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. Like, follow all our other social media platforms where we keep you up to speed with fantastic interviews, as well as markets, personal finance, business, and economy information. This is the best place to be. I'll see you all again in the next video.